One of the things I appreciate the most about living in China is that, in general, the people are very non-aggressive, and it's kind of like a very refreshing experience. Honestly, having been born and raised in a country that culturally is very aggressive, everybody wants to be a badass, and you're kind of judged by how much of a badass you are. You know, your car is a badass, your clothes are a badass, you work out and get huge. Maybe you do steroids so you can be bigger and stronger, look like a badass. And at every turn, people are ready for conflict, ready for a fight. You know, somebody passes you, road rage, people are shot and killed every day across the country. I don't see that here. I mean, these people are really focused on getting things done. And anything that gets in the way of getting things done, whether it's like a traffic jam or a stupid driver, they just want to get around them to go to the next thing that needs to be done. And just very non-aggressive culture. They have a saying here that if you get into a fight, you either go to the hospital or go to the jail. Either one is very good. So I feel like the people have kind of adopted this kind of logic, and I, for one, really appreciate it. Like water truck. So when they pass somebody, they're nice enough to stop spraying you. So that is well appreciated. I don't know. There's so many things I really like here. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of challenges also. The biggest one is my social life is near non-existent. There's multiple reasons for that. One of them is just like I've had like this foot condition. I can't go out, basically. I can't do stuff. So that's a big one. But the biggest one is the language. You know, I've tried taking lessons. I came in here very optimistic. I'll come in, take some classes for a few months, and I'll be able to talk Chinese. Not happening. Not happening. I've all but given up. So I have a vocabulary of a couple of dozen words that I can use to say yes, no, thank you, which way, train, car, this kind of thing. I can count to 100 basically. So I can say a few things. You know, I like this, don't like that, want this, don't want that. Do you have this? Do you not have this? Where is this? You know, here, there, very basic type stuff. And I can understand even a little bit more than I can speak. Speaking is actually a great challenge. I have to put words together, remember the words, remember the tones of each word, and remember the structure of the sentence, which is oftentimes different than the English language structure. So there are no Latin-based words in Chinese, so there's essentially nothing you can say that is going to be understood by somebody who does not speak Chinese. So not like, you know, I speak Spanish, so when somebody speaks in Portuguese or Italian, French or German, I can pick up a few words. Nothing like that here. It's completely different. So I also love the infrastructure. You could see the roads here. I don't know if they come out in the picture, but there's like no potholes. Everything is like in good condition. And I live in what's known as like a second tier city, I think. Suzhou is a second tier city, not first tier like Shanghai, Beijing, second tier city. So there's a lot here that's new, but they're always rebuilding, always improving. And you bear witness every day in everything that you do, how their tax dollars is benefiting the people. And what I despise about the U.S. government is that they basically pillaged the tax base, launder it through the weapons industry, bully and kill people. That's what they do. Whereas the Chinese will build bridges in other countries. I know some people are going to laugh at what I'm saying. They're going to say that's a lie, whatever. But I live here, man. I've been living here a year and a half, and I see it. And I've seen behind the curtain. So I know what it's like, and I see what they're doing on the Western governments. They basically, everybody's fighting to get into position to try to pillage the tax base. Well, hopefully this guy helps me out here. Thank you. Yeah, okay. He stopped just as he came at me. It's the same guy probably. He's probably like, this guy busted my balls. But anyway, see how I think like a Westerner. Like, he's probably not thinking that way, but I think like a Westerner. So I think, oh, this guy, you know, I interpret things through this like, you know, welcoming conflict eyes. Anyway, so what I was saying was that I do have challenges here, and some of them are quite big. Can't really talk to people. I miss talking to people. I often miss my culture, like things that are familiar to me. I miss talking to people about things that are my culture, my history. I miss talking to people about, you know, the 70s or, you know, Seinfeld or, you know, anything like that. When you grow up in a Western culture, I don't have somebody that I could, you know, just immediately turn to and say, you know, how about that freaking Rice Krispies song? Whatever happened to that Snap Crackle Pop or 2 all beef patty special sauce? Or, you know, whatever. Gary Newman and all these other great songs from the 70s. Nobody I could really turn to about that. Here's an accident. A lot of traffic here right now. I should probably pay attention to what I'm doing. So I think I'm going to stop here so I can manage to get around these people, because I have a dog and, you know, not easy to get around right now. I don't want to kill myself or kill somebody. Actually, I think I'm going to park the scooter here and then maybe walk a little bit. I think that's the thing to do. The other thing takes a little getting used to, especially in a city like Suzhou, not a first-tier city, is that people are oftentimes not used to seeing a Westerner. So what that means that sometimes people will look at me as if I'm like something strange, which of course I am in more ways than one. But in this case, it's because I don't look like them. You know, sometimes children or people from other parts of China have not seen a Westerner. They're not used to seeing people that look like me. So sometimes even like I've had it happen a couple of times where a kid will walk up to me, just stand in front of me and stare at me, you know, with a smile, curious. But, you know, as a Westerner, it's like, hey, you know, what's your problem? Is like I have to hold myself back from reacting this way. So anyway, I am adjusting to life here. Sometimes I get these flare-ups. You know, I call them flare-ups because essentially that's what they are. I have like something might trigger me or something, and I'm just like, what am I doing here? I cannot do this. I cannot speak to people. I cannot resolve this issue. I cannot communicate. Things are way too different than what I'm used to, etc., etc. I don't know anybody here, etc., etc. So various things like that. And then they pass, you know. One thing that helps me to get them to pass is to go on YouTube and watch the news, you know, see the things that are happening. So, yeah, you know, everything has pros and cons. And another thing, too, is that the quality of life here versus the cost of it is much more favorable. Especially for me right now, where I'm kind of like, I don't know, semi-retired at this point. So I really enjoy just enjoying a low cost of living. Our rent in that high-rise over there, second tallest building in China, I think it's like 110 stories high. Our rent for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, I think it's about 1,000 square feet on the 80th floor. We pay $1,500 approximately for that. It's a great deal. Food, I can order food on an app from various different restaurants and locations. And in most cases, before I could ever possibly cook myself dinner, the food has arrived. And the price is like very reasonable. Sometimes as little as $3, sometimes, you know, $8, $9, $10 per meal. good quality and very reasonable, obviously very fast service. So I really appreciate that. So I don't know, I think I'll wind up this video. It's a lot more than I thought I would talk about. But I do enjoy riding my scooter a great deal, especially when it's like 100 degrees out like it is right now. It's literally over 100 degrees right now. Actually, I'm quite parched at the moment. So I'm gonna go over here by the water. Bruce, come on, let's go down the stairs. Gonna go over here by the water for a minute. But I will leave you with this picture here of some, I believe these are lotus. Or some kind of lily. I'm not sure what they are. I wish somebody could tell me what they are. If you know what they are, just let me know. And this view here, Jinji Lake, Suzhou, China. And that's Bruce, who wants to keep walking.